All right, we're setting up the meeting. So I've already completed this trail, so I'll go pretty quick with it, I believe. But you know, as you're going through the trails, you're an advanced admin. I know you get the information, right? So like, but if you're struggling with it, then all right, we're setting up the meeting. If you're struggling with it, then you can reach out to me at superuseracademy.com/live QA call. So put your question in there or schedule an appointment with me. I will work with you until I am getting too many people paying me money to work with you for free. So here's the trail that we're starting on. And I'll put that link in the chat on YouTube. So you got that in there. Also started on the last session to do some really cool stuff with the section. So so part of what I'm doing is I'm demonstrating how to create your own study document. So once you get the hang of this, you don't need to watch anymore. That's cool. You know, like, subscribe, comment, and ask me questions, and I'll put it in there. Right. So we got enough time to go through setting up knowledge because I need the review of knowledge regardless. So look what I did. I copied the trail into a document. I formatted the document so that I can easily go through any trail with anything that I want. That is because of the heading 3, right? That's what I'm looking at, heading 3. Now, I'm just going to paste the links to each one of my little sections here that are going to be in. I'm just cleaning the document up. Again, I will give you a copy of this document for your study journey until it's complete, and then I'm ready to sell it. And then I'll sell it to people who didn't show up live and early, because you know what? You're going to get a better product anyway, because I'm going to put a lot more into it. So now I'm going to each lesson. I'm going to do them each one at a time as I go through, so I can keep them section, right? So remember, you want to look at overall test objectives and then the learning objectives, and you could put them in there. I just copy them, and then I'm going to paste them. This gives me quick and easy access to the information that I'm going to need to be familiar with when I don't leave it bold. I'm not going to do that. That's ridiculous. There's nothing bold about it. That's going to give me like the reminders, like, do you know this? And if I don't, then I can go back. If I find something in there that is, you know, as I go through this, if I find what I'm looking for are things that I don't readily know, aren't common sense, or reminders, or things that, you know, person writing the document might say, this is something I want to test on because it's important. So, you know, they're going to look at it and say, this is important. Right. So we're going to gain some knowledge about knowledge, right? So we're going to learn all about that, and we're going to follow along with the trail together. So look, you watch the video in your own time. I'm not going to repeat it. I'm scheduling to see, can I do these things? Now, I've got to get my hands-on org loaded up. So I'm going to go to my hands-on org on my Trailhead profile, and I'm going to launch my advanced admin Traimix. So I can go through the hands-on exercise, and I'll point out anything I think is important or relevant in this section, right? Because I got nobody live with me right now, so I'm just kind of winging it. And somebody's watching. So, hey, welcome to the call. Put something in the chat, sign up, and I'll put you on these live meetings if you want to actually interact with me with your voice, not just your chat. But feel free to do that. Remember to like, subscribe. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Once you subscribe, go to superuseracademy.com/live QA call, and we'll put that in the chat. Register. I'll not only give you access to all of the recordings, but access to all the links, but access to all the documents that I've got. I'll give you access to coaching, training, test questions, test prep, everything you need to get your certifications. Why? I'm building an army of elite professionals that serve the small to mid-sized market. I need you to get certified, but I need you more than just certified. I need you accredited. I'm building out this as part of my Top Gun 5-star ACE training program. And that means if you go and take the classes that I offer, and you start getting certifications and you start interacting with me, I'm going to put you on board as a consultant. You're going to start the training, and you're going to get to take partnered learning camp classes through my partnership. You're going to get to work projects for money, and then with supervision to get experience. That's all going to be documented, and you're going to be a better hire if you start your career. So don't wait around forever. You found this video maybe by accident. Fine. Get with me. Let's get started. Let's build your career. I got to check that message later. I know it's a student. I'm not doing it. All right. So we want, there are amazing features knowledge has to offer. What are those? Well, knowledge is the how-to articles. So I said in the last video, was we talking about knowledge. Your goal with knowledge is to train your customer service reps, managers, and support operational staff to remember nothing except one thing: check knowledge, right? And then as a team, as a company, as a culture, build out those knowledge articles that really serve your users with the latest up-to-date things. If your dev team makes changes, make them update or provide the updates you need to update your knowledge articles in those categories. So, do that. So now this one happened probably before the other one. Anyway, so we're going to go through this together. So we're going to assign the knowledge user license. So remember, and I also have to duplicate that tab, put that over here. I can look at the instructions on myself on that side. So I'm going to go through these instructions, but I'm not going to show them to you while I do this stuff, right? So I've got my, we go to my setup, I think setup or service setup. Service setup, look at me, picking the wrong one. Had the instructions, didn't use them. Right? That's what your users are going to do. They're going to go by what they remember. When it comes to customer service, memory's a killer, especially if you live in a dynamic, changing environment. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to click the service setup, open that bad boy up. So there are recommended setup flows. This is good for beginners. It's clear for, if you don't do this all the time, if you're not a service cloud consultant working with companies every week, setting them up, guess what? You're not going to be good at this, right? You're not, even in the real world, even after you got your cert. So use the trailhead, use the trailhead to remind you of what needs to get done. These are my notes. My client notes, client conversations, my running totals, things I got to do or not do. All right, we're going to add users tile. So we're going to add users. So we're going to add Ada Belawa. So we're going to get her email, from the Trailhead trail. So here's what you got to do. And this one is right. You got to use, here's the, because every username has to be unique. We got Ada Belawa at Ursa Major Solar, plus my initials, DAC, plus today's date, which to me is 08. That's month, day, year. For those of you, 1/8/2022.com. All right, Ada. They're not going to check your username. They're going to check, if you didn't create a username, then, I'm going to use my custom support profile. Remember, 1 of 2 licenses are used. Every org gets 2 licenses. So you always get another set of eyes on your knowledge docs. Never leave it to one person. I'm going to add that user. How easy. Finished. Boy, what an easy way to set up users, right? So no roles, blah, blah. All right. So now the next step, and I'll give you a glimpse of what we just did, right? So we went to setup gear. We did that, finished that. Now, Now we're going to go, we're going to add some permissions onto Ada's profile. So we're going to go, what are we doing? We're going, I don't use this setup. In the server setup, all right, we're going to go to users. We're going to go to Ada's account, her user account. Edit. Oh, we need her. We're editing her profile. What a long way to go. Click on Ada's profile. Click on edit. Got it. We want Lightning experience user for Ada, boom, for that profile. And then we can hit save. All right. Now we are going to go, we just did that, step one. Now we're going to edit login policies because we want to be able to log in as other users. Login, access policy. We want to enable the ability administrators can log in as any user. Yes. And then we want to make sure we don't have to re-log in. So we're going to make our session settings not force a re-log in. Nope, we're going to remove that checkbox. We're going to remove the force re-log in. So this is going to make our life easier. And 24 hours because I'm not secure. All right. Now we're going to go back to our session, right? Now we have this setup flow, this knowledge flow that we're going to set up. Remember, you got 2 licenses. Everybody can access articles. Only 2 can create, approve, and all that. So now we're going to use the knowledge setup flow. Why? Because it's easier. We're going to go to the view all of all of our recommended setups. And we are going to the knowledge setup. So we're going to set up knowledge. I might have already done this. I know I've already done it, but maybe not in this order. Help customers help themselves, help your users. So we're going to add Ada to the license. We just did that, right? So we're using 2 of our available licenses. If you need more, buy them. What? How did my email? Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, my tech data email just won't go away. And I'm not entering in these groups yet. I did some of that yesterday. And we are finished. But first, I'm going to edit. See, now I got the login button next to Ada. All right. Okay, now I'm going to check my knowledge settings. So these are the click, I'm taking you through the click paths. You shouldn't get lost. You can stop and rewind. I want to make sure knowledge settings are enabled, which I think they are. Enable Lightning Knowledge. Click. Check the Object Manager tab. I think somebody just joined me. I think it might be Jenny B.
It's Jenny B. Sorry, I just got out of work.
No worries. Your coworker's been getting out of work for years since you've been there. So,
I think so.
Knowledge is in my list of objects. Yes, because I'm in it. Blah, blah, blah. You get the home tab. And then I'm going to check Ada. I've already done this one, but I'm just going through it. I'm making sure and going through some of the settings and all that. This will be a kick butt one. How do we check a user's record? So a couple things to remind you about, right? Every user has a license to the edition that the company has purchased called the Salesforce license. If they're a full Salesforce user, if they're not, they may have some other license like a chatter or service only or force.com, blah, blah, blah. Permission sets are one thing, but we also want to look at their, notice these are feature licenses on the user record, right? We've got the feature license checked. So good deal, Ada, you're solid. All right. So now we're going to go back to setup and we're going to do feed tracking. Because what feed tracking does is it posts changes to records in the chatter feed, which is also important for service because the feed is your communications feed, which includes chatter, emails, comments, all those things. Why? Because you need all the communication in one congruent place. And feed tracking is enabled already because I can see it. I've got options, right? So I've got all of these different ones and I can choose the fields that I'm tracking, all of that stuff. We just want to make sure it's enabled. And in order to retake this step, here's what I have to do, at least to show you this step. Have you completed this step yet, Jenny B? The knowledge?
I'm still checking where are you at in knowledge? I'm still catching up to you.
Oh, I'm in a new trail.
Oh, which one? Because I just joined, so I'm still.
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat box of the Zoomy link. Am I even sharing? I don't even think I'm sharing my screen. I think I've been live streaming this whole time. I have. What a knucklehead. Whoever was watching me, I'm putting it on them. Whoever's watching on YouTube right now didn't say a word in the chat. Like, what are you doing, Dominic?
You weren't sharing your screen.
I wasn't.
There we go.
Now I am. So you missed all of that. Just me talking. Hilarious. All right. So I'm pulling up, just so you know, I'm pulling up the trail that we're on. Let me put it in the chat, Jenny. Here's the trail we're working on. There's the first module of the trail. So there's really nothing that was super complicated about this, right? We followed the instructions. There is a video. We copied the learning objectives. In my document, I'm not taking any notes, but I do want to see the challenge, right? Let's see. Enable lightning knowledge setup flow. Oh, I can't log in to see this is new. They won't let me see they won't let me see the questions. That's why I set up this is new. Let's see if I can log in with some other email. I doubt that I can. We will try.
Can you believe I can't log into Trailhead?
Why?
I randomly get these things where it asks me to log in with one of my accounts and it opens up a new Trailblazer account.
Did you do that from your Trailhead playground?
No. No, I just log in and it asks me to log in with one of my emails, which is actually linked to my Trailhead. And instead of working, it created a new Trailhead. Oh my God, I hate this.
Oh, there's a little hitchy bitchy in the giddy. I want to take a look at it, by the way. That could happen. So I just created a new login for me. I created a brand new login, a new Trailblazer account. Let's see. Mind that. I gotta wait for the email. Oy vey. Here's my single. 716125. 71612. I do all of this for you people. Please subscribe so I can make a little money doing it. So I don't have to just kick up anything else. So I got a blank new Trailhead account. I probably should have started with a blank new one. I didn't think about it.
Where's the fun?
Right. Here are the questions. Oh, is this? Oh my goodness. So is this a challenge, a 100-point challenge? That is actually a launch? Wow. So look at that. I went through all of that because I missed one click. It is a physical challenge, but it's only worth 100 points. Very upsetting to me. Very upsetting that a physical challenge is only worth 100 points. I want more points. So
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute.
See, I need 8 more trails, Dominic. 9,000 more points.
And I got to tell you, what's going to be even worse. So since I left your company, I cannot log into my office account anymore on my office stuff.
Oh.
And that email address with that company name that I just changed. Oh, feed tracking wasn't enabled for knowledge because I didn't enable it for knowledge. I read the instruction kind of halfway. All right, perfect.
Right,
Now
what's his trail name again? Configure Salesforce knowledge.
Configure Salesforce knowledge. So, but I found that email address in this org and it seeps around and it gets in and all that fun stuff. All right, here we go. So now let me do the work. So we're good. And I got poker tonight at 7. So I'm going to leave here. No, we won't be later than 6:45 tonight, Jenny, or sooner, just in case, right? Because what I'm thinking is that for an advanced admin class, I think most people are gonna, it's already have the whole badge. So most people watching this should not be watching unless they're already at 4 certs down. So just so you know, a lot of this should be very familiar, but we're going through fast and furious because I'm dealing with experienced certified admins. If you're new, go watch my basic admin playlist. Right? Or better yet, pay me whatever it's Salesforce certification.deals is my new website. You can go give me a little bit of money and I'll get you started and then you'll have access to all the resources you need. So do some of that, right?
Nice.
So that's a couple of steps, Jenny, that you got to complete in your org. I think you can do that while I chit chat. And if I move on, can I move on? Or are you ready?
This is a project. Okay.
It's a wee tad little bit of a project.
It's a baby project.
Yeah, it's a little baby project that you're going to be like, why did I use this? It's with all the easy buttons.
Do I need a new org for this?
What's that?
Did it say new org?
You don't need a new org. I've been using my advanced. I created a new org starting this Traimix.
Okay.
You don't need a new org. I mean, you do need an org for this whole Traimix, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna create a new playground for this one.
For this whole Traimix, right?
No, I just made one for this one for the project.
All right, if you got to do that, it's fine.
I think you have to because I think it's going to tell you to set it up differently.
Maybe. I don't remember. Those are little details. Once I get the pass, I'm done. I'm out.
Right. Need to enable feed tracking.
For knowledge.
Yep.
Go all the way.
Yep.
For knowledge.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Oh. I didn't see my Cairo today either.
This is a baby project.
It is.
It's cute.
All right. So I'm going to talk, I'm just cleaning up some junk.
Still spinning my org.
So Brad Rice does a career development program for $2,000. Mine's going to be much more expensive than that, but I'll take the money out of your paychecks. So I will. That's what I'm going to do. It's a good deal, right? That's what I'm thinking about doing. I don't have it worked out all the way. I want to build an army of part-time and elite professionals like you, Jenny, that can, because you might, listen, you might spend 10 hours a month with a client that, earns you an extra $700 to $1,500 a month, depending on the complexity of the work you're doing for them.
Right.
Maybe $500 a month if you're new, but you're not new. You're good. You're just not certified all the way.
I'm working on it. I'm here,
I
right?
know. Of course you are. I think it's great. So now I think we might have done some of this work in yesterday's trail, but we're going to configure the page. You just keep working, Jenny, and everybody else is already just stopping
Yep,
the tape.
go for it. I'll catch up.
And so, again, you can watch the video when you do this. We're going to modify the page layout for the FAQ page. And again, I'm looking at it on my other screen, the instructions, so that I can walk through it, but we're going back to the setup gear. And we are going to go to the object manager. And we're going to check out, where the page layouts are.
Mhm.
And we're going to go to page layouts. We have a knowledge FAQ. We could click the action button like it says, or we could just click on the link to the page and that'll open it up as well. So what do we got to do? Where are my there we go. I lost my instructions. Okay. All right. So we're going to go down to the mobile and lightning actions. We're going to add submit for approval to the boutons. I'm going to take submit for approval and add that.
Oh, they're doing a review process.
Yes, because our knowledge articles should always be looked at by both knowledge license users that you have when you get Salesforce, because you get two. Never let one
That's
person
how I
do
set up my first org for knowledge with an approval process and a review process. Where if they were
Nice.
over 6 months old, they got flagged for review.
Nice.
I thought so. It was thorough.
I
It's a whole
mean,
life cycle.
all right. We're going to modify the page layout name by clicking layout properties, and we're just going to call it FAQ.
Oh, Dom.
See, I like these classes where it's just me and you, and I can only offend one person, and everybody else can just change channels.
Right?
When people say watch your language, I'm like, what are you talking about? I use there's an old Swahili or African word called fug, which is used to express disgust or dissatisfaction, or an exclamation point where we're speaking verbally. So
Right.
if I think this is fucking great or fucking stupid or fucking anything, I can just fug my way through it. And nobody can be offended at the word fug. It's just like pug, but with an F. So, all right, now look, so we're going to go, now we're going to create a new how-to page layout. Let's see if we already have one. No, we don't. So we're going to click on new. We're going to not use an existing page layout. So it's going to be the default page layout for this object that's built into the guts of Salesforce, I suppose. So now we're going to go back to those mobile, like, so there's nothing on the pages, right? There's just the knowledge article title, the URL name, nothing else on the page, right? Look at all our fields, nothing. Look at all our related lists, nothing. All our lightning actions, nothing. So whenever you get mobile and lightning actions, in order to get those lightning actions to show up on the page, you got to click the little gear icon to open up the editor for those buttons. Is that right? I'm going to activate the section. Eventually, it's going to open up. No, there it is. Okay, so I guess I just got to drag. Listen, it said click the wrench icon, but okay. So we want archive, assign. I don't know what archive would be first. I would assign it first, but that's change record types. So we're just building it now from scratch. These are all of the buttons along the top of the page. Edit as draft. Now look, you could grab more than one, I think. Can I grab more than one? Look at that. Edit as draft. Post.
Control is your friend.
Control is my friend. See, it's not just a psychosis.
My playground's still spinning. You're
you are?
on this project.
It's all good.
Oh
There we go.
God.
So let's see. I'm going to move them around a little bit just as a edit.
Time I just listened to you.
That's fine. I mean, look, it's all good.
I'm type A. They told me, darn it, to spin a new one.
Well, you don't.
I know.
You
never know.
You people who follow the rules, you do this to yourselves.
I know, right?
Us people that don't follow the rules, we do a whole other set of things to ourselves. There's no better way.
Processes.
There's no better way. There's only the way that you're used to dealing with the consequences.
Right.
Now, in the trailhead, it says don't click save yet. And I agree. Don't click save yet. Click quick save all along the way.
Yes. Yes. Amen.
So now we want to add some fields. We're going to add some fields to this particular page layout. We want the publication status because that's what they said.
Now, do you make it pretty when you do these projects? I can't say I put a lot of love in mine.
Sometimes I do because I want to practice. If something I do all the time, I want to practice it. I do. Sometimes I'll do it just because I'm showing off, because I'm a show off, right? If I'm showing off for somebody, or if I'm trying to make a point, or if I'm trying to.
Yeah, that's different. You're a trainer. Yeah, I guess you have to make it look good.
But sometimes I'll do it because I'm actually pre-training something coming down the road, or I want to address something coming down the road or something like that, Jenny. So in my weird training methodology, if I'm really familiar with the material, and it's also a training flaw of mine, some people get distracted by it, but most people pass when they take my class. So the people that get distracted by it, I can only consider that if they complain about it, they're ignorant and dumb, not just ignorant. It's the only thing I can think of.
Oh my God.
All right, so we're going to do another section. We're going to do a section. Oh yeah, by the way, here's something that I don't know if it's true or not, but if you had a VPN and you changed your country to India, that might spin up faster. The playground may spin up faster. Something that was 5 weeks ago discovered in my Trailhead Virtual Bootcamp class that I'm teaching right now. All right. Knowledge detail section. I hate the way this is just horrible use of screen space. Okay. So now I've got the article details. So it's not very clear, but I'm going to get the summary in there. And and I'm actually gonna put that there. So I'm leaving it that way because we're grabbing another section.
Oh my God.
Little article details. What happened? There we go. You got to look for that green line. 2-column layer out. Copying the instructions. And look, if this is like, if you don't do this a lot, slow down, watch the things, right? You got a section name, display section header on detail and edit page, or just the detail page, or just the edit page, or neither. Check your tab orders, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I'm done with that. So I'm going to do the assignments because you got accountability, right? Salesforce is about accountability and communication, collaboration, and data storage. It's not just that. We want the assignment dates, like at Jenny's company. Assignment due date, assignment note. People are really hooked up on accountability. Not
Yep.
right. They might be. I don't know. I'm going to add another one, another section. Call this properties. 2-column. And you know, these field names and these section names are a little unfamiliar to me. Now, they're probably a little more familiar to you, Jenny, because you just set this up for a large implementation of newbies for your company that I know about, right? And so I want to remind people that are dealing with this is that, look, sometimes these, like the words, you know, like article created or the article properties, what is all that? Once you use knowledge articles, it'll make more, these fields will make more sense the more you use the data. Why?
You start reporting on them.
Because you start reporting, you start working with them. You start seeing in reality what they're telling you in data.
Yes.
So just relaxed. Okay. So I got article created by. Right. And then when somebody screws something up, that, my friends, will be when you're like, oh, that's when all these system fields and other fields that are there or not. That's how you do. I call them silos. Sometimes they're self-induced learning opportunities. Sometimes they're just, you know, the people you work with. Sometimes it's Bob. Oh, so I didn't read the second half of the section. So they want these on the left, and they got some other fields to the right. So they want some visibility fields, visible in, visible. I'm just going to drag all 4. Visible to customer, visible in internal app, mouse base, quick save. All right, I'm going to hit save. So now we've got page layouts, one for FAQ, one for how to. And you don't need to do anything different, except we're gonna in a second. But once you create 2 page layouts for the same object, you're saying, I'm creating record pages that display differently depending on the audience.
Yep.
Right? So what are the
usage,
other things?
right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or the usage. Could be the same audience, but could be a different usage.
Like a use case, like 2 different kinds of FAQs, an internal and an external.
One could be definition of
correct. So every time you create a page layout, you want to think, what are the limitations? Because remember, these are some of the 8 questions I put in a blog post, or a blog post that's come in about when you look at a feature, you have to look at its strengths, its weaknesses, its impact, its, you know, how you choose it, what are your alternatives, you know, how you manage it, all that stuff, right? How do you maintain it? So we're going to create a record type right? One for how-tos and then one for FAQs, because we just created that. And we did the record types earlier in the class, the video before this, as part of the previous section. So again, this is where you're working through the trail mix. You're still going to be doing this. So I would say you use the org you used yesterday, Jenny, but right, because we got FAQs, we got procedure, we got troubleshooting. Those are
I'm
record
already
types.
regretting it, but I'm tied up now. I'm
I got you. No worries. I got it.
75% committed.
Yeah, I got it. So why do you use a record type? Because there's limitations in Salesforce. One page layout per profile. Well, now that you've created FAQs and how-tos or procedures, right? So that might be the way we change it. The real question is, the users in one profile, is any other user with a page layout assigned to it, need to see the record in a different page layout, right? Because if a user with a profile sees the FAQ page layout, they can't see that record in any other page layout without a record type. So a record type extends the functionality beyond the one page layout per profile per object limit in Salesforce. Record types are like a little object within an object. So see, I do reviews while I teach, as well as pre-training while I teach too. So we're just going to create a new record type. And this one's going to be the how-to record type. So it's easy for you to manage record types if you keep your page layout names and your record type names consistent. That is just a better practice. Now, you might say, well, that's obvious. It's not obvious. Half the
Not
people,
to everyone. No, it's not.
there are people on the other, let's put people on the other side of the planet from where I sit that have consistently not followed those kind of mental things, because it seems in some cultures, it's different. All right. So we're going to assign, now when you create a record type, you not only assign the page layout that you created for that record type to all profiles, only the profiles that you assign access to that record type will see it. So I'm going to send this to the customer support profile. And remember, you can hide stuff from yourself as an admin, so don't do that. And then now I'm going to assign the page layout for the how-to to all profiles. And you might say, well, why? They don't even have access to the record type. Because I used to ask myself that. Why am I doing that? Because you're safe. I'm going to use a joyful term that's called pre-tarding. You're saving yourself trouble down the road in the future. If you decide to give your analytics cloud security user access to this record type, they've already got the right page layout assigned to it. So you can create multiple page layouts and assign them to one profile each, and life is good until one user with one profile needs to see a different page layout. Then my recommendation would be create record types and assign them for every page layout, and assign those, and give yourself the benefit of going all the way, do complete work. If you're a 5-star top gun at Sales and Technology Consultants, you're an ace, because you know that, because I've been training it forever. Right? So we apply the one layout to all profiles so that in the future, when we need that page layout to be when we assign that record type to a profile, they've already got the appropriate page layout already done for you. Notice the other feature of a record type is that the record type is a controlling pick list value for all of your objects pick list fields. So from here, the record type, you can adjust all of the values of your pick list fields. And then, so it works like that. Caveat, if you remove a controlling pick list field, then if you don't add that controlling pick list field to one of your pick list values, then none of the dependent pick list values will be available under any circumstances, no matter what you say they are or are not available. So remember that little dynamic. Record types like a object override for your controlling dependent. Individual fields and checkboxes, the right kind of fields, the pick list fields or the checkboxes, can control all of your custom pick list fields in the dependencies and field dependencies. So there's object control of the pick list values and then field control of the pick list values. Just remember that's going on. All right, now we're going to add an articles related list to the case page layout. So I'm going to go to my case object. I'm going to go to page layouts. And I'm going to go to my case page layout, which is just case layout, should be. Oh, case page layouts. And then I'm going to go to my related lists. And I'm going to add articles. Now, I tell you what threw me off, and I'm going to take out solutions, but even though they're not telling me to. Yeah, remove solutions, because what is that? That's classic. We don't need solutions. It threw me for a loop, Jenny B, at that company you're fixing to leave. When I went in with my inappropriate access as an admin-ish. And I'm like, where's the knowledge related list? And I got stumped for a second, right? My brain ADD'd and it got locked on to knowledge. I was looking for K and I forgot articles or knowledge articles. So, right? And it's a little bit of a floopy. And that's floopy.
This one just gotchas in the beginning.
It's one of those little gotchas where Salesforce didn't do you any favors by keeping the naming conventions consistent across the board. So it's one of those things, if you're confused, and this just cleared it up for you, you're welcome. But, just know that articles are knowledge articles. And yes, for the record, you always override users' customizations to related lists and tabs and list views, always, because if they know how to control it, they can control it the way they want. If they did it by accident, they have no clue. And if they didn't do it, they're just going to take what you give them anyway. Okay. And that is that. I am going to, it's another verify without 500 points in the system. But at least now you can see me take it. And if you need help with it, I'm not redoing the video earlier. It's so simple what we did earlier. But if Jenny makes me, then I'll do it.
I'm still creating my user.
Oh, yeah, good. That's fine. You'll catch up. I'm nothing so far. This is really a hands-on kind of exercise, right? There's not a lot of new, we covered a lot of the information. We're now just going through it in this trail is what it looks like.
Right.
So we are configuring, we're setting access, we're creating data categories, creating articles, managing use case. So we're getting in the hands-on portion. So this is good. Just keep up. It's totally fine. And all right. So again, you can follow along with the trail, blah, blah, blah. We're going to set access, right, to the articles. So we're going to user permissions, control access to different tasks. User permissions sets or custom profiles, you can grant Ada the article using permission sets or custom profiles. You can grant Ada the article related permissions she needs. Create a permission set named Knowledge Manager that includes the permissions to create, edit, publish, assign, delete, and archive articles. Then assign that permission set to her. All right, no problem. So
she needs the Knowledge Manager permission set. Is that what you just said? Yes.
Correct.
I'm going to kill that bird while I'm right here.
Perfect. Did I save what I just did? Did I save it? I don't know if I saved. Let's see. I might have just quick saved, which is fine. But I'm not doing it to the other pages, just so you know. So now under users, oh, look at that. Let me get my instructions up. Permission sets. Okay, there it is. It wasn't there a second ago. but I have the gift and the curse of thinking and moving really fast. And those of you that do that, you're going to fail the tests more often than slow people, because they can speed up a little, but it's hard for us to slow down.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind when you're sitting around forgiving yourself and loving yourself for being how you were made. Because you can't really, I was talking about, this is a philosophical point I'm just going to make real quick, Jenny. So I got in a car accident last month, and I'm going to see my chiropractor because I still was like, I got banged, not super hard, but hard enough to hurt my hand and hurt my back, and they're paying for it, so I'm fixing it, right? So my chiropractor I was asking, well, how'd you get into this? You know, whatever. He said, well, we were joking about, look, there's two knowledge objects too. That's no fun. We were joking. I remember in college, this is something that hit me hard in college, right? That in my psychology class that I took, because I took a lot of psychology classes, but my very first psychology class, one of the instructors said she was a speech pathologist, or she went to a speech pathologist, or she was making up a story. I don't know what it was. She said, but over 50% of the people that are speech pathologists have a speech impediment. To which he said, that says a lot about us psychologists, right? So a lot of people tend to get in the profession where they need the help. I know I'm in the profession of personal development because, you know, I think I fundamentally grew up feeling like I was broken. And if you have that, that's what you have. So, but he says, yeah, that's probably why I got into chiropractic and health and nutrition, because my dad was riddled with back problems his whole life. And he said that you know, he said to himself, I want to avoid that. So, but he says, you know, like my back is always stiff and I got this and I got other things. Even though I work at it a lot, I'm not a yogi. I can't do those kind of stuff, which really has more to do with your muscle length and your bone structure and other things. And if you're really fat or not, but you know, but the point was, he said this is my philosophical thing as I did that. He says, it's hard to outwork your genetics. Yes. So if you're not suited for this and you're studying and you're struggling and you're unhappy and you're miserable, hit me up. I got an assessment tool that Jenny's supposed to take that if she can't find, I got to send it to her again. I forgot. It'll tell you the right job you would enjoy. And then you can see if your brain actually fits to do that job. Anyway, so that was that, right? Just like permission sets, you got to know your other stuff that you got going on. So now we're going to go to the app permissions after the object settings. And now this is where we're going to get all those app permissions required. But that makes sense. Like if you're like short, you're not going to outgrow your genetics of being short. There's people who try to do that. There's people in the world who even, you know, and I'm not going to touch on all the psychology or if it's what the influence, I'm not an expert in any of those things that is happening in the world today. Just remember, whatever your genetics are, we don't know enough about genetics to change any of that. So, you know, embrace it. All right, so let's see. We need to manage articles. I'm gonna do my Control F. Manage articles, check. Manage knowledge article, manage Salesforce knowledge. Publish articles, share. Look, it all came in the same place. And now look at all under knowledge management because it wasn't bold and highlighted, so I didn't even look at it. View archived articles and view draft articles automatically enabled, leave as is. All right, that looks solid. And then we are going to do system permissions. Yes. Does that make sense? You can't, don't fight your genetics. Leverage them. Like you might have to take on a new profession if leverage them. Make sure you're leveraging them correctly to your best advantage. And this one's going to be manage data categories. Voila. Oops, gotta go back to the top. You can change things externally a bit here and there. You can move, like if you're not, but I never had the genetics. There was a time my brother did it. He worked out a lot more than I did. I realized that no matter how much I worked out, my genes would always slide down my ass because no matter how, like I did it a long time. I did it a lot to try to get it. But, we just ain't got no ass genes in my family lineage, either side. So I got I got the no acetol syndrome. That's what it is.
I wish I had that.
Right?
Damn you.
Everybody wants what everybody else what so many people got.
Right? So not fair.
So not fair. Life's not fair, but that's
Right?
Good news, Jenny. You know why?
I guess.
Because if you got what you deserve, you'd be more miserable than you ever dreamed possible. All right, so that did it. I'm going to retake the step. We set up access for lightning knowledge, right? Again, not with a profile, but rather a permission set, because it's just easier. Now we're going to create and customize those data categories. As soon as I get my little voila. So the video that I did yesterday, I spent a little time today trying to come up with a routine based on the document and what YouTube needs to get found. I did my first video with chapters. I was very excited. So now that when you go through these, I set a chapter for each section. So if you're just struggling on one section or another, you can just go right to that section. How about that?
Mm-hmm. You think of it all.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the first 68 videos on my channel, or first 69 videos on my channel, I have a lot of that stuff in it. It's just me slapping a bunch of stuff up there just to get used to it. But now, as I get closer to monetizing my channel, I'm thinking, well, maybe, I could actually make some money from this instead of just feeling like it's goofing off. I haven't hit that because, Jenny, you want to know irony? My number one video on my YouTube channel still is me not talking.
Isn't that funny?
That's ironic, Alanis.
That is funny.
Hashtag Alanis Morissette doesn't understand irony.
Well, I will try not to laugh on your YouTube because I'm sure I'll drive people away.
It's the reports and dashboard and Lightning Experience Super Badge that I did as part of this scam called 100 Days of Trailhead. And I figured, well, while I'm studying on Trailhead, I might as well throw it out to YouTube's, right? And so I marked it a little bit. I mentioned it. I did a very little bit of keyword research, but because people spend time watching me go through that, even though I make mistakes along the way, they get their super badge. So they're working through it, but they got to work through 8 videos of me doing it, 7 or 8 videos.
That's awesome.
And I think I'm going to take out one video. I'm not sure which one yet. Take out the lowest one. And that way I'm not giving away the answers, but I want people, but I didn't do it as an instruction. I did it just as a YouTube experiment. So when I monetize but I don't want to get rid of them until I monetize my channel. So we want to organize our articles using data categories. This is a note that I am going to copy, right? They're used to help find and classify articles, questions, or ideas. You can also use data categories to control access to a set of articles, questions, or ideas. Why? Because it's like folder settings. It's the one thing, oops, I forgot to be doing one of the other things I'd be doing, which is my learning objectives. So I got to go back and do that. Because there's not any learning objectives. That's why I didn't do it. These are just activities, right? As you go through to complete the activities. What did I just say? I said,
You're ahead of me. Go through to do
I
the
just had a brain
activities.
fart. That was me having a brain fart live. It's okay. So if you're here, you could actually make fun of me when it happens. If you're not, it's your fault. You had a chance, sign up, get in the gear, get on this calendar invite. Oh, so they're like folders, right? Folders control access, right? Who you share the folders with. So do data categories. Folders are, so that's what they call them though in Lightning, right? So we're
Can I
gonna
throw this out there for data
Yeah, please.
categories? From experience, you have to get the data categories right the first time.
Yeah, it's
So
hard
plan them.
it's hard to edit
Scope
them,
them on
right?
a spreadsheet. It is very difficult to go back and try to fix your org's data categories after the fact when you already have articles already assigned into them.
Now, that might be a fun hackathon kind of thing, because I want to start doing like a weekly hackathon where people just bring in whatever they're struggling with, and then people show up to kind
Oh,
of
don't do it. Just don't. Get it right.
Well, I know, but
right.
I would
Plan
imagine.
for-
Here's what I would imagine. I'm just imagining. I'm imagining that you have to move all the articles. Like the only way to start doing it is to move articles like all into one folder, then change your categories, and then you can move articles around back to the folder. But while articles are in there, I'll bet you they're pretty hard to move. Is that what happened?
It's more complex than that.
It is.
I was told when I started knowledge was pretty new. And this was the one thing that the knowledge expert told us is to get it right. He says, because it's almost easier to start all over again than it is to reorg, because this is access, it's everything, and you can't report off of these. So think about if you have 100 data categories, you can't run a report to show you what articles and what data category.
Wow. Wow. So it's a gotcha in something relatively new.
That's why I'm just throwing this out there from experience, and don't mess this up. Plan it, think how you're going to want to be in 5 years and build to that.
No, I know. Look, Salesforce has a lot of forward-looking statement stuff, right? I'm gonna give you a forward-looking statement. One day, every product Salesforce has will work as promised. That's a forward-looking statement. They work as they're designed, not necessarily how you interpreted the promise. Okay, so like I'm a tech diva. I hate all these clicks typically with software, but I got so hooked on Salesforce and teaching it and the value of it and some other reasons that I go through all of these hard admin, like, oh, you have to do this to set up a user. Yes. And you're the one, Jenny, told me like importing a list of users requires a spreadsheet with 100 plus columns.
It's like 80 some columns.
That's close enough to 100 for me.
Yeah.
Right?
And lookups, lots of lookups. Yeah.
You get over 5, it's annoying. And there's tools, but anytime you run across something, here's a little tip. Anytime you run across something that's annoying, go to the community. Somebody has probably either developed, found, uses a tool that's going to make your life easier. You can always grind it out. But you know
what I did. Right. I went and found a flow that made them really quick and copied it. Like
brilliant.
Build it for my org. It was
See?
great.
And Jenny's going to put that on the sales and technology unverified solutions page one day, which she's going to manage and put together for us. Now, here's what's funny. They said enter data category setup in the quick find and select data category setup. So I'm in data category setup. Nowhere does it say click the new button, right? It doesn't say click the new button, but you're an advanced admin. You know the only button you can use is new. So that's where the group name, unique name, and all that's going to come from. So you got to do a little bit of thinking in these trails, because look, I'll tell you as an instructional designer that one of the reasons I don't like doing instructional design, although I'm skilled at it and I get paid to do it, is because it's hard. And you're going to forget things. All right, so now we have the group that it's in. Remember category group? Now we're going to add categories. So we're going to have inverters. And I'm going to take that space out. I'm going to click add. I'm going to have charge controllers, because this is what you're saying, right? Moving these around is incredibly hard, right? Like moving something from a group, from a category to a group, that's got to be
reassign when you do throw articles into these data categories, you don't know where the articles are, which there's no way to report off of the data categories and what articles are inside of them. At least
Interesting.
that was the, I mean, somebody let me know if there's something's changed since I've done it, but that's the way it was.
And interestingly enough, like, sometimes some people figure stuff out. They go, oh, look, now it
Yeah,
says,
you never know. There could be something in the XML that I'm aware of, but
I don't know what XML is. I mean, I know what it is, but I'm not doing it. I'm not getting that good. I want to stay away from really getting smart about really technical stuff. It just doesn't serve me or the person. So there was this MMA fighter called Rampage. That was his stage name. And Rampage has a quote. He says, I hate working out, but I work out 4 to 5 hours a day. And I take all that anger from having to work out on my opponent, because that's the only way I'm going to win. And I want to win more than I want to avoid the pain of working out. So I get angry when I work out so that when I compete, I can take it out against my opponent. That's what I do with technical stuff.
Mhm.
I will take it out on you if you make me do stuff. I will take it out on you. I mean,
Yeah, don't
I had a
like it
job.
either.
I had a job where the guy hired me to do one thing, and I ended up doing consulting work, which was fine. But that's when I realized I don't like, jumping in and doing these things, because number one, it takes an attention to detail that I have to get around to. That means I iterate.
Yeah.
When I develop course materials, I've learned to do it with courses. I iterate. I do rough drafts before I do final. I don't write a final draft on training materials. Anybody that does that sucks. Their training materials suck. So, but I do the same thing when I'm doing solutioning. I kind of go, I don't like to set out the plan. I like to I know what I'm doing and just go for it. That's not good development style. And that screws people up. Like some people do, in some sides of the world, they do it that way and it's horrible. All right, so now we have to activate these two groups. Why? Because they're in the inactive categories and we need to activate them. So this is where you hover to discover. Like, what is this? It's got the name, it's got who created it. That's great. It's got a little setup. Yay. And there's that little activate button. We learned this yesterday, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to activate them. All right. You can't. So, and by the way, whenever you make things visible, Salesforce has to rewrite the world of all the records that it impacts. So depending on when you do this too, right? Like ideally, you would know everything about your org and your business and your data models, and you would build Salesforce and you would deploy it and everything would work. But that would only work for one day, maybe even less than an hour. Because I promise you, the first thing that's going to happen, somebody's going to have, hey, can we do it like this now? And there you go. Now you're incurring all the technical debt of learning and evolving in Salesforce. Because the next change you make from the initial time you set it up, everything's going to get impacted. So does that make sense? That was kind of an off the cuff kind of while I waited for my screen to do this thing. This is the nature of it. So we're going to now go to the default data categories. And this is where the visibility, and we're going to control the visibility for each category. Who gets this? Right now, there's no visibility to it. We have to control who sees what, right? And we're reverse engineering it back to profiles. We've seen this how it all, so doing this stuff keeps you touching the things that you got to do. So I'm going to click edit next to solar installation and maintenance. And I'm going to say all categories. Why? Because that's what the instruction said. And I trust that. This is me following instructions. That's why it's so uncomfortable. And we're going to do it for support options.
You're too much.
Which is why I like being a trainer. I can figure out the instructions, I can follow them, and then I can deviate and make it entertaining.
Right.
Now, so we did that for our support and our solar installation and maintenance. Internal and external, we did not do because we did those yesterday. It wasn't part of it. If you want to go ahead and do it, go right ahead. It's not part of this particular exercise instructions, but I'm not so rigid that I got to do it. So now we're going to go to the permission sets under users. Is that right? No. Oh, so now we're going to go back to that knowledge manager permission set that we created. And then we're going to click, data category visibility. It says, I'm going to do it the way I would normally do it when I get dumb instructions. Data category visibility. So I had to enter that into search, data category visibility, so I can go to that particular permission. What? Oh, wait. Oh, right. Oh, and that, got it. Interesting. Okay, so I've never done this before. I did it at some point because I completed this trail, but I don't remember this stuff. It's also the truth about it. So next to that, all right, so now on the permission set, we're also going to give them visibility to all the categories as well. Interesting. This is a convoluted, so Jenny, you've done all right. Knowledge may be fancy schmancy, but I see they did not take a straight line route to they added a lot of features. So they burned up a lot of whiteboards to develop knowledge.
Yes.
But when it comes to applying all the things to make it work so it isn't a train wreck, these are some of the paths you got to go through. So, listen, it's in the permission set. I would imagine, so I just want to see the permission set real quick, right? So in my permission set overview, where is that? Is that my system permissions? Where is that? I want to see where that data category visibility, where does that live? It's a weird place to have it. Just there? Let's see where it's at. Oh. It doesn't seem to be in a category. I'm going to call it a system permission. But it's not a system permission, is it? I like to see where these things connect. You know what I mean?
I'm still building my layout.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not happy about it either.
I hear you. Let's see if
Information.
app permission.
I'm missing some important piece.
I want to know where this data visibility lives. Going back to the app overview.
It lives exactly where you're at.
But see that data category visibility? It's just part of the profile
So
overview.
you have it's in addition to the profiles.
No, I know that.
The profiles and record types.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I'm going to profile real quick.
Because that'll give you the record type, but the visibility, if you don't have visibility into the folder, you won't see it.
No, I understand that. What I'm looking for is this category group. Okay, there it is. It's a
Yes.
okay. This is what I was looking for. Because
It's its
in
own
the
piece.
permission set, I'm looking at the permission sets through the eyes of the enhanced profile view. But what I was looking for was it's a related list. It's on the
Yes,
profile.
it's not part
it
of
would be
like the lot. Yes.
Right. So it's a related list. So remember, we did it, interesting, for the custom support profile, we added internal and external, you and I did, to the profile. But the new ones we just created we're granting access via the permission set. Fascinating. So I'm going to add the resources just because I know I don't want to do it now, but I do want to be able to like spend more time understanding, like knowing where it lives and how it lives gave me insight as to how it lives on the permission set. Like, how do we find it on the permission set? Because the instructions didn't blindly, listen, the instructions didn't say, they did not say, enter permission sets and then click knowledge. I mean, they didn't say click data category visibility, or they did say click that. So what is different is that they said that based on this related list, right? Being on the profile. This is how they built the instruction. They built the instruction based on the profile, not in the enhanced view. Whereas the permission set is not in the flat file profile is what I call it. So like the GUI interface for profiles is the enhanced profile view. But this one, right? If I click on that permission set, there is no related list. Oh yeah, there it is right there. I'm an idiot. All right, I just missed it. There's data category, click data category visibility. Okay, now I'm good. I
Just
missed
like the
it,
profile.
but I had to make the connect. See what I got to
Yep.
do? I got to get
know.
my fingers on it to wrap my head around it to make sure I understand what the hell they're talking about and how they're getting to it. Because I'm looking to the structure of the setup menu as much as I'm looking at to what they're telling me to do. That's how I make sense of the world. So anyway, thank you for indulging me in my own psychosis. So I'm going to verify that step.
Anytime.
My own kind of crazy. There was a client I went to see in 2015 in Wichita, Kansas. And one of the sales reps, training sales reps for iHeartMedia. One of the sales reps had a sign on her door. It was like a cartoony thing, and it looked at that style of the old 50s style. And it was it had a little cartoon character of a person who looked a little whacked out, and another person who looked pretty strong, and it said, it was like a formal like caricature. He said, "I do not know exactly the kind of crazy that you are, but I do appreciate your commitment to it." So I have a certain kind of crazy. And so, all right. So now we are, so we're going back in and we are creating and managing articles. So we first have to enable the validation status for articles. All right, I'm good with that. We think we did this yesterday, by the way, on our video, but I'll do it real quick. And we have, where's my knowledge settings? There's my knowledge. And then we have validation statuses already in our knowledge settings. We're looking for activate validation status field. So that's already done. So that's good. Well, moving on to the next one, we're now going to create some validation statuses, which we already did yesterday, which is a work in process. So let's see if, and that should be on both record types, which you can't get to it from here. But if we go to knowledge, and we look at our record types, we'll be able to see I don't think it'll be there, by the way. I don't think it'll be in these because we just created these records. No, it is. It's there. So work in progress. Default is work in progress. Oh, want to move that above. I can't move that. How do I move that? Oh, I got to click reorder. So now I can edit and reorder it.
Oh, shoot.
Can I? What am I doing?
Ah.
I can't move. Why can't I move work in progress? Oh,
Oh, crap. Hey, do
You
me a
know why?
favor. Stop for a sec.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to copy that page. I accidentally just did something wrong. FAQ. I got to put it back.
You want me to stay
Thank you.
here?
Yes, stay for 1 second. I'm sorry. I will
No
type it
worries.
really quick. This can be used for simple question and answer. I
And
accidentally
Jenny's
did
typing,
it.
which I don't recommend. recommend.
I
but
know. I know.
I get why you got to do it.
too.
I get why you got to do it. Be careful.
All right. I'm back. I'm sorry. Thank you.
No worries. All right. So
All
that's
directions.
FAQ.
I'm trying to listen to you and at the same
Yeah,
time.
no. Listen, I literally got the best feedback 2 weeks ago from a student who said, you talk too much while you're doing that work. So I'm doing it on video talking, but I'm actually adjusting my style. I'm leading a CRT class tomorrow. Anyway, so work in progress. I can't move it up and down, but I can go to the fields and relationships. For whatever reason, is validation status? Yeah. I'm going to go to reorder and put my work in progress up. See, they missed some instructions, but listen, we ain't mad. We're advanced. So we figured out, we go look around, we follow instructions best we can, and then we go get it right. All right. The next one is we're going to go back and we are going to publish an article. So we're going to go to our knowledge tab. Now it said select service. So I'm going to follow the damn instructions and see if knowledge works in service app. So far, we set up the record types, page layouts, data categories, access and visibility settings, and validation strategies for knowledge. Now that creates the foundation, and now we can create and publish an article to test the process, right? So let's see if this works. I am going to create a how-to article. This is going to be how to clean and maintain a solar panel. So it gave it a work in progress status. My summary. I'm just going to watch you guys. Use guys. I'm just going to copy all that. And then I'm going to paste all that. Voila. And then I want it to be visible in the internal app and visible in public knowledge base, right? So I'm setting the properties for some of those fields. So as you use this more, those fields are going to start making sense. And then I'm going to hit save. So it's in the draft. It's a draft status. And it is in the validation status is a work in progress. So, right, we just created the article. La 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 la. So now we need to assign the article to a category and then assign it to Ada. And why do I know that? Because I just read it. That's the only reason I know it. So where is my drop down for categories? Let's see. Nope.
This
Oh, there
doesn't
it is.
give a lot
Categories.
of points.
What's that?
This is not giving us a lot of points.
No, knowledge is
hell?
not.
Sorry.
So I'm going to throw it in. I'm going to throw it in my solar installation and maintenance categories, right? And then I'll hit save. Oh wait, why do they say do that? And in the exercise, they say pick solar panels, but we don't have solar panels. So I'm just gonna, I guess it's all of them then. Oh, if we're just doing one or the other, I got it. Got it. So they're saying if you want to select all of them or you want to actually select which one is which. We don't have solar panels, so I'm picking inverters. Because where do we go create that? We're going to go back to setup and add that. Let's see if it's hard. Data category assignments. I'm going to click edit. I'm going to add, whoops.
Did you just say why there were two knowledge objects?
I said that there are two knowledges.
Why?
I don't know.
Like the old one, the pre-lightning?
Oh yeah, one's classic. I bet you one's classic, one's lightning. Yeah. Oh, you know why I can't do it? No, I deactivated it. Why can't I do it now? I created an inactive category group. Oh. Action. Add categories. So now I can add solar panels and batteries. I wouldn't prescribe this, but I would say worth thinking about. Not gonna be on the test, but one of your settings here was order them alphabetically or not. I say in a small list, alphabetical is great. In a long list, it depends. And it's not a rule that you can say all the time, everywhere, do this, do that.
When you did your permission set, did you enable the record types? It doesn't tell you to do that. But then you have modify all, but it doesn't assign the record types.
But no, because you have modify all on your.
You don't need the record types.
You don't need. You got all record types. You got all the data types.
Always do it.
How did this happen? How did I? What? How did I? What? How did I exceed the maximum number of active data category groups?
Say that again. Exceeded number because you can only have 3.
What?
You can only have 3 active first level groups. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound that snotty.
How did I have 4 in there just a second ago?
You have a solar inactive group, the support options, internal and external. That internal and external are from the old.
I know. I had all 4, but all 4 were active just a minute ago. And then I deactivated so I could add stuff.
You only have 3.
Huh?
They really weren't active. You can only have 3. 3 top levels.
I got you. Okay, fine.
All the gotchas I've had, at least I got one thing.
So anyway, now I got it to work correctly. And now I'm going to assign this article to Ada, just like a task. but a more complex one. Jenny, can you confirm that these instructions are horrible? You'll have to spend time fixing it and then publish. But this creates clear accountability, right?
No.
Get it by Friday. I'm not sending an email notification. I'm just going to click save. And there you go. It's just like a task.
I like the idea of accountability in this.
I do. Well, I like the idea of
People don't
all
bother with
accountability.
that, but I think it's important personally.
Absolutely. Because you have to go kill the person who wrote bad articles. You have to go kill them.
Well,
Because-
don't kill them. Just, some
Kill 'em.
people have the knowledge, but they don't necessarily have the skill in typing. It might be just that you need to take what they have, and just because you're really smart at, I don't know, fixing a refrigerator doesn't mean you're smart at articulating how to
Right.
fix a refrigerator.
Right. I agree.
So
I agree. Let them write the steps down and let somebody else
let
do
them
it.
butch it and then fix it up behind them.
No, I get it. I'm down. Although, did I ever tell you my, anyway, here's my draft article. I'm going to look and see, this is assigned to me. It's in the category, la, 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 la. So what am I changing it to? I'm going to edit it. And the validated status is validated. Which is what you want, by the way. Even if you are good at writing, you need somebody to look at your stuff. Everybody needs an editor. Everybody needs an editor, especially in articles like this. And then now she can publish. And I could schedule the publish. Poker night, 5 minutes. What? Oh yeah, because it's 6:45. I want to leave at 6:45. We're gonna finish though. It's okay. Now I can log out as Ada. And you can always, listen, I love this line. Once an article is published, right? This is good. You can always improve or update the information, improve or update the information as possible. That's a good sign of a learning, of organizational learning. In that, do you have a system for feedback? This does it for you. Knowledge gives you a feedback loop. That's going to empower your users to say, that didn't work exactly. Then you're going to discover the flaws in your, like we're discovering some, I'm always good at pointing out flaws in others, right? A little, and then I discover a lot of times it's a flaw in myself. That's good feedback to know about yourself. Oh yeah, I didn't follow the instructions and I got mad because the instructions didn't tell me exactly what to do. Okay, we learned something about me, not you. But if the instructions are missing, it says a lot about you. In my leadership class, I always say everything that transpires in your life will reveal something about you as a person, as a leader, and in relationship. And even if you only lead yourself. So I'm revealing a lot more about me that you need to pay attention to as my instructee, that I move really fast sometimes and it doesn't always serve you because I'm trying to do that stuff. Anyway, so now we're going to go and update the article. And what we're going to do is I'm in the published article list view, right? So knowledge articles are either published or unpublished, draft or published. Let me be clear. So now I can click on it, and then I've got versions. Versions without changing the name of the article. Final PowerPoint, version 3. No! It's the final PowerPoint or it's not. Software has versions for you. Anyway, so we're going to edit it as a draft. Are we going to edit as a draft? Hold on. How are we gonna do that? Click edit as a draft on the top of the page. Why don't I see edit as a draft on the top of the page? What's wrong with my buttons? So now I got to go check what? Check my damn page layout.
Do you have the permission? Did you assign yourself the permission? I know that sounds stupid, but edits usually. Did you assign yourself the permission set? Because it didn't tell you to. Technically, it said to just assign Ada.
Oh, I know what it is. No. I know exactly what it is.
You don't have edit on the page layout?
This is not in, no. This is not, no. This is a different page layout. So here's how you find out. I went the wrong way. I was going the way to find out, like, oh, so I'm in the knowledge layout, and yeah, edit as draft is not on there, right? Which record page am I looking at? So this is why I love, you want to edit the page, because you need to create, by the way, you need to go this route. 2 reasons. 1, you create an accessible Lightning app record page, as opposed to when you're looking at your Lightning record pages. Right now, we don't have any because Salesforce is using the standard one. So when we go through here, we'll have this. We're going to create the standard as a custom, which means we can then access it when we go to the knowledge object. You'll see that? Like, you don't want to create from here. You don't want to create new from here, not the first time anyway. But when you edit from the front end, you can then save it. And I'm just going to save it, this record page. It's going to activate it and make it the org default. There's only one anyway, right? I'm taking my standard page, making it a custom page. Everybody's going to get it because it's the org default. But check it out. Now I can go see which page layout I'm actually looking at. It was the how-to page layout. So in my how-to page layout, I don't have that edit as draft button. Yeah, I do. So why don't I see it? This is the one I'm looking at. So what are you saying it might be, Jenny?
Go to your permissions and make sure you're assigned to that knowledge manager position.
Oh, me?
Yeah, well, are you supposed to be creating them as her or you? I wasn't.
No. You're supposed to log out as Ada. And then
Was Ada you assigned as Ada, right? Did you log in as Ada when you did that?
yeah, no. It says open an article. So the instructions say log out as Ada and then go in and then edit as draft. But I bet you it's because I don't have the permission.
We don't have the
set.
permission. We never assigned ourselves the permission. So how can we edit it?
Well,
It doesn't belong to us. It belongs to Ada.
Correct. So
I thought that was the flaw in your instructions.
it's interesting. It's interesting because you're right. You're exactly right. We got to have, as an admin, I always assume I got the permission.
No, you
Right?
don't. Not for
Right?
this.
Not for knowledge.
Not for
You know
knowledge.
why? Because it's a feature license,
Right.
not your Salesforce license. So the standard settings don't apply because you might, as the admin, you might not be the knowledge license user. Now I can edit as a draft. Huzzah.
Ta-da.
See, they left it out because they want to test you. Can you work the problem out? If you're working alone, it's going to be harder. So join. So in the summary, note, never clean solar panels naked. You will find out why if you do.
Right.
They're hot. All right, so now I just created, right? And and now I'm back to draft. So I got to publish. And then I'm going to flag it as a new version. That's going to make people know what's going on, right? You're communicating that it's new. So your people who remember can say, hey, oh, I should probably look at the new version. And now they're going to see that, oh yeah, there was the old version. And now I'm looking at the new version. And you have a history of the old version. It's what your PowerPoint, Word, Excel, they do that too when you do it with SharePoint and stuff like that. So does files. All right. Last step. Let's see. We are going to now, last but not least, manage cases using articles in less than the 10 minutes prescribed. Right? So now we're going to validate it, and verify it, and be very happy with our little 100. Well, they're working us to the bone with this one for 100 points a pop.
Right, for 100 points. I'm a little upset over that. Mm-hmm.
All right. So now I got to check something real quick. So there's a little caveat to this one. This only works if you've completed the setup case escalation and entitlement project, which I'm looking to see if I have or not. To wit, I have. So lucky Dominic, maybe not you. If you haven't, maybe you need to do that first, or maybe just deal with it and watch me and then go do that, right? So we're going to create a new case. And it's going to be with Rose Gonzalez. At Edge Communications. I got a question for you. Why doesn't Salesforce automatically fill in the company that the contact is working for?
Good question.
Why don't they?
I think you have to set that through automation now. You can.
Well, no, you can make sure that the contact and the account, it's a standard lookup filter. If you want to make sure that they match, you can do that, but I don't recommend it. We teach it as a lookup filter exercise in the admin essentials class, but now we're advanced. Does everybody that has a problem inside of a company, think very large company, are the employees the only ones that call up problems to a vendor or provider?
Not always.
If you're a Salesforce consultant, you can say, no, I create cases for my customers that use Salesforce all the time with Salesforce, but my contact company, Sales and Technology Consultants, right? The account I may be working for is Edge Communications. So it's related to that account, but I'm a related contact in there. See what I'm saying? Let's say you're a consultant working inside a company. You call up the vendor, right? It may not always be true. That's why it doesn't do it automatically. That's what Salesforce Standard knows already. It may not always be true that the person that you're talking to works at the company or is calling it in for somebody else. I just put for my marketing platform, I just put in a case with support for one of my clients saying on this customer's account, I'm with sales and tech, they're with this. So there. So it's something that if we don't broaden our thinking about all of the scenarios, and that's why you're an advanced admin, because you think about more than one scenario, like the straight line scenario is easy. All right. We already added the knowledge component to the case record. I'll show you in a second because it's going to be on the case. There it is. That's why I already had it. So I'm not going to go through all that again. And we've already assigned this as the org default. Let's see, wait. So I have related on there. So I can change it. All right. I'm going to add related to the body and just leave knowledge on the side so that they can look at both and not mess up anything. And then we're going to complete. And then I'm going to go eat well, play poker, and hopefully win a couple $100. Maybe not. I may lose it with the tip jar or something
Where are you playing poker?
at the country club
Nice.
that I'm a member of because my wife got a job there because we were trying to get a membership.
That's right. Woohoo.
Smoke Rise Country Club. Come and visit. So I'm going to add a tab. Can I add the related? I can't add the related tab. Can I add the related tab? No, I can't add the related tab. Oh, yeah, I can. There it is. Okay, good. All right, perfect. Now, in this one, I could take away the related tab. And I've got I'm going to take the tabs. I'm going to take this out completely. And I'm just going to put the knowledge component in there. No tabs. So there we go. I'm going to hit save. So what's my default tab? Feed, I'll make it details because that's what the instructions say. So what do I want? Step 6 says what? Come on, man, you gotta be kidding me. My mouse dead. Says make sure that the details tab is highlighted in the tabs component. Click and drag the record details component currently above the knowledge component to the tabs component. Oh, all right. Well, I'm just making sure I look like they look. Chatter related details. What about feed, Jackson? Chatter related. You need feed, not chatter. I ain't making a look at that. Okay. So I'm going to save this. It's already been activated. It's already the org default. Just going to check to make sure. Yep. And then we're done. Desktop and phone.
Uh-oh.
What?
Says that my assignee does not have permission to review articles, but I'm pretty sure I gave her that permission set, which means I missed a check. It's always something.
It's always something. So I'm going to attach this article to this case. And I don't see it in the related tab, because it's a caching issue with Lightning. Or I didn't save it. I think I saved it. Otherwise, I'd have the related tab next to knowledge.
Oh,
Feed, details, knowledge. Move to my Lightning record page. Look at it this way now. Give Jen a chance to fix it.
crap.
So again, why do you attach the article to the case? So you know what recipe you used to resolve the case. If you said the case is resolved, you get to say, these are the instructions I followed. And if the customer calls back and said, oh, the case wasn't resolved, then it's how you followed the instructions. Why do I have, oh, I'm in the knowledge article, not the case. What? Oh, I'm in the wrong, duh. In the wrong objective. Not worried about it. It'll show up in the next case. Details tab is highlighted, shouldn't be. Feed. Awesome. It's going to show in the chatter. Yay. And my related tab's not there. So let's look and see why.
I don't have knowledge showing up in my service. What did I
Weird.
do?
You took it out. Oh, you don't have the knowledge
Did you
permission
add
set.
it? Oh, wait a minute. I don't.
You might not have the knowledge permission. You might not have the knowledge license on your user. Right?
I don't think I.
Oh. Yep. I didn't save my work. That's what happened. Saved some of it, but I didn't save the other part. I didn't save the part I needed.
It's always something.
It's always something. Rosanna Dan.
Holy cow, they still don't see it. Knowledge.
And it's
Oh.
always something.
What the hell? She's got knowledge. You know, I
By the
did
way-
this out of order. I didn't add her when I did the enabled knowledge. You were supposed to add the two, you know, enable it for the two profiles or whatever, or the two
Oh,
users.
right.
And I didn't have her created at that point. But I went in and I checked the knowledge user. Maybe she maybe she's not, no, she's Service Cloud too. What the hell? She's Service Cloud. Custom support program. Salesforce. This sucks. Need the tab visible.
Why is it not? What the hell, man?
Oh, I made the wrong knowledge artist tab visible. That might be it.
You did what?
I made the wrong tab visible. I went to the wrong knowledge. I was supposed to be the top knowledge and I did the bottom knowledge.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Damn.
So.
Probably gonna bang me here. I'm doing things outside of the recommendations here, but I know it'll work. And there it is.
Oh, related. Oh, I forgot that. Now I know why nothing's showing up. I got to add the related list component to the related list tab.
In a
Duh.
case. That was in
Ugh.
one of the steps. That was in one of the steps.
Not in this one.
There it is, articles right there. What were you missing? Oh, it's not in your org.
No, remove. You gotta. I'm adding the related. Anyway, I got it now. You gotta. I added the tab, but I didn't put any guts in the tab. I always forget there's two parts: the tab, and then what's in the tab.
Mhm.
So you have your tabs, then you had to drag the component within the tab. The details already had details in it, so I kind of ignored it. And feed already has the chatter feed. So, all right. It ought to be chatter publisher. Different. Nope,
Edit.
same one.
Edit
All
it,
right,
and then
so
move
now
it
we're
to the-
good. Oh my God. Now I'm late to the poker game. All right, that's all right. Last but not least, I think. Oh my God. Enable communication channel mappings, which I think we did. Yes, we did definitely do it yesterday. I'm going to do it today. We're going to, we added it. Our page looks like this. Hooray. We're going to enable communication. So I'm back in my setup. And I am going to my object manager. I'm in knowledge. Go to my communication channel mapping. I'm going to add the how to. Choose the how to record type. I'm going to add email. And then I hit save. Wait, nope. Fields, I want title and summary. Can't just have nothing. You gotta have something in there. And any other data you need to add to it. And then it said, hey, we have email to case already enabled. But in case you want to check it out, email to case. It is enabled. Wait a minute. Don't show me this again. It's still going to show it to you. You go to classic and turn it off, I guess. Oh, it's not enabled? Why is it not enabled? We thought we enabled it. Oh, wait. It's in my real org. It's enabled. I was going through this on my email case. Email to case on demand. Won't that one connect? Nope. Save.
Right, we got to email to case. We have to enable email to case too.
Yep.
Because they want to do the whole thing. Wow. This is a lot for.
Right? Like, I don't like doing all this. Like, I don't either.
And apparently healthy clean.
But you know what? You only have to do it about 7 times. Maybe once.
Maintain your solar panel.
Now I'm going to add the email-y. I can hit quick save.
Wow.
I'm going to click on my
maintain your solar panels
feed
right
view.
here. Maybe I put a period at the end of my title. Holy cows.
Wow.
I think I put a period at the end of my title.
That'll mess things up, I'm sure.
And it's not finding it.
All right. So now we're in the feed view. We're going to look at our article settings.
It's unfortunate.
And then last but not least, I'm going to go to support settings. Boy, I don't know who sets this up every day. You got to follow instructions to get all these things in. Right? I mean, there's just so many little pieces and parts that don't just naturally get handled. Right?
Holy shit, no, because I mistitled it. Oh my God, I'm screwed.
What
it's
happened?
Looking for a version 2, and because I mistitled it, I had to correct the title and make it a version 3. And
Delete.
I can't find a version 2. Oh, man.
I say delete.
My God, you can't. You can only archive them.
Archive it. I love it. Archive it.
God, this is a mess.
So we're still in the solar panels case. Let me just.
I think the API is still there, though. Even though it's archived, if it's looking for the API, it's going to see it.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm screwed.
So
I'm gonna try to delete article.
delete, refresh.
Delete. Start this
All right, now
again.
check this out. On my feed, I can email. And then I'm going to insert this article into email. Wow. How title. What is that? How title. It's on there. And I'm not gonna hit send. All right, now check it out. The problem, something in, now I can edit and change the case to close. I don't think so. We'll see. Yep, okay. Because that's the funny thing, out of the box, Salesforce doesn't let you close cases. Did you know that? You got to set it up to close them.
Yes. Not weird.
It threw me for a loop on more than one occasion. Now I verified the step on another screen. We'll see if it works. Voila, it worked. All right, Jenny, I got to run. Thank you for being
I'll
here.
catch up. You have a great time.
I hope so.
Good luck.
I hope so. I will. I have fun. And you guys out there, thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, all that yada, 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 yada. Do me a favor. Just send me money or subscribe. Either one. Make a choice. It's a choice. Send me money or subscribe. I'll Patreon you to death, or you can knock this sucker out. All right. Well, that was all good stuff. Boy, those are a lot of steps to go through.
That was a
to
lot
get
for
your stuff
these
set up.
points.
Setting up knowledge here.
Right.
Not easy.
I might have to finish this tomorrow. I think I could use dinner.
Yeah. I'm going to get dinner too. All right, guys. If you want to copy this
Have a great
article,
night.
yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.